everyone? We are the crew from SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, a weekly podcast where we go over everything going on in the world of K-pop. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
On today's episode, we will be breaking down Queendom Ep7. So as most of you know, we're in stage 3, the unit performances, which is broken up into 2 rounds. The first one, unit round, where the 6 acts will each send a representative vocalist and representative dancer to the units. The vocalists will be split into 3 pairings, and the performance unit will be performing together and be judged individually. The second part is not Pandora's Box, it's Fandora's Box with an F.
Fan. I'm
serious. And each of the 6 acts will be performing a song suggested by the audience. Okay, so quick notes before we go over the performances. My notes were, finally performances. One other thing is that they said there's equal amount of fans in the live audience from each fandom. I thought that's cool that they did that.
Nice.
In this episode, we only got the performances, no ranking, so that's going to be happening next week. Lastly, Lee Da-hye and Jang Sung-gyu, they're doing a great job. Lastly, that point system that we generally don't care for, but this is what's going to happen. So going into the finale, it's going to be made of the current points at that point. Sales from the finale songs plus live voting will equal the winner. So at this point, I have no clue what any of the rankings are. I don't think anyone does. Let's get into the performances now. We had vocal performances, and the first one was Pak Bom and Hyo Jung from Oh My Girl. Team Bom and Jung, they sang Ihai's Scarecrow. And this was my choice to prediction to win it last week.
What's up? 찾았다. Oh my.
Stop. It's so cringy.
It's cute.
It's cute. Why do you mean it's cringy? What is wrong with you? You horrible, heartless man.
The performance, super emotional, right?
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Like everybody was crying. I was almost crying.
I wasn't, but it was emotional. Sorry.
Hyojung has a lovely and clear voice, and then Bom has that Pak Bom funk. You know what I mean? Like, you know exactly what I'm saying, though. Like, she sings and you're like, Pak Bom, that's you. Again, I want to say that Hyojung has been a great hube, or like younger sibling to Bom the whole way. She's really good at doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job. My only critique was that individually their parts were very good, but there was very limited time where they actually sang together.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true, but at the same time, I feel like in terms of their music choice and how they kind of arranged it, I feel like it wasn't. I didn't really feel like they had to like sing on top of each other, you know.
I kind of agree.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking of like Davichi, they only really harmonize the second part of the choruses typically.
Pretty much.
But also these were like shorter renditions, so it's not like we got like really. Oh no, they weren't shorter renditions. These songs felt a little short. I don't know why to me.
Okay.
But what do you guys think of this one? We could rank the 3 pairings at the end for us individually.
Oh dear. Okay.
Next one.
Okay.
Haejung from AOA and Minnie from G Idol. Team AA. They sang Dean's Instagram, and this was Warren's pick last week to win it.
I don't know if it's gonna win it, but man, Minnie.
Minnie is
now
my bias in Yeoja Idol. It's official.
It's Minnie now.
Keyboard was fire. Vocal quality on point. She has a super non-idol-y voice, and she needs to be singing more R&B and indie stuff. Those were my notes.
Yo, man, I would kill to like have her collab with like other female R&B artists, like Hoodie or like I can't think of any off the top of my head.
And then
like Sogum, you know, like
last week I called Haejung's voice a little airy, right? I thought she was way better in the performance though, and did a great job. Visuals off the chart, of course. And the other point I had was that AOA reps their members harder than anyone else on the show. Like, you know what I'm saying. Whenever anyone from AOA is on the screen, the other kids off stage are going ham for them, which I think is great.
You know what's really funny about that actually?
What?
AOA will be like, yeah, Chunmi, yeah. And then like you have Mamamoo in the corner who's like, ah.
I know, right? But I thought overall this team, teamwork and harmonies were fantastic, super jazzy. I did think Minnie outshine was a little more prominent than Haejung was.
I would agree a little bit too.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other thoughts on this stage?
Hyejung, not that I don't like her vocal qualities and not that I don't like any of what she did. I do feel like she funk to the way she sings, you know, like the way she like, you know, adds those, you know, dissonant chords and all that, like, you know, like the way she harmonizes and the way she like, cause like if you listen to Minnie, she just drops it in the way she just sings and she just lets it out, and then Hyejung is more like, all right, it's gonna, you know, I gotta skillfully show off, you know, that kind of like up and down and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not wording this in the most like efficient way, but you kind of get what I'm saying, and it's not that I
agree.
don't enjoy it. I kind of liked Minnie's less of that a little more, and I feel like, you know, when people say less is more, this might be.
I mean, Minnie has been the standout for this round. Like,
That's
and
true.
teams are the vocal teams. Out
That's
of all
true.
6 of them, I thought she's impressed me the most.
I would agree. I feel like for me, when I saw their performance, it just felt like Minnie's tone and like her singing style fit the song very, very well.
Yep.
That it kind of made Haejung's vocals seem a little off, maybe. I don't know. I feel like she could have done really well. Like, I'm pretty sure she's capable of singing really, really well. For other styles, it just felt like this suited Minnie more.
Yes. Yeah. It was her suggestion to sing this anyway. So.
Right, yeah.
That's true.
Lastly, Hwasa from Mamamoo, K from Lovelyz, team Gu Oh Oh Gu Oh Gu. They sang Billie Eilish's "Wish You Were Gay," and this was Anita's choice to win it all. Hwasa stage presence is ridiculous,
Well,
right?
yes, of
her voice
course.
fit this song perfectly. Hwasa's gonna be Hwasa. For me, hard carry of this song, right?
Really?
I did think Kay did really well considering she was out of her typical element that she's in with Lovelyz. And they only sang a little bit together. I thought that was good. My big criticism was that I don't think this was the best song choice.
For both of them?
In general, yes.
In general? Okay.
Here's why. For me, this song, at least this rendition of it, is very one tone. Like,
Okay.
even in their own rehearsals, Hwasa's like, at this point, let's go forward to the audience because it's not exciting.
It needed a little more dynamical plot to the song.
Am I the only one who felt that way?
I didn't particularly feel it, but I understand what you're saying, and I kind of agree. To me, what stood out more to me was some people might say Kay didn't fit the song, and that's what I would have said last week. And in fact, that's what I said last week. I was very concerned. Leading up to this competition, this round, Kay showed us her trying to do other stuff. For example, Sixth Sense, and I felt like they were a bit of a flop. And then we have this, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call this the rediscovery of Kay.
Oh.
Okay.
Because normally I would say this doesn't fit her vocal style or her color or tone. But I felt like it was actually somewhat very appropriate.
She did great.
And I personally, watching the two of them, because they come from very different vocal styles, you know, singing. And watching them kind of go back and forth to me was where all the spice was and where all the interesting parts were. And I was kind of engaged on that part rather than the song itself driving it forward. In terms of the song itself, it was, you know, and the arrangement was, you know. And so I get what you're saying. But at the same time, I feel like there were other attractions. There were a lot of other appeals that I could enjoy.
Also, shout out to Kay's solo debut, I Go. She's going under her real name, Kim Ji-yeon. So look that up. Anita, you got
She
any
looks great and blonde.
closing thoughts on this song?
Well, for me, last week, as you mentioned, I thought this was going to be the fan favorite just because it seems like it's a song that would appeal to the audience. And I kind of had an idea of where Hwasa wanted to take this. Like, she seemed very set on this song and very sure of what she wanted to do with it. And like Warren, I was a little concerned about Kay's performance just because it seems very out of her comfort zone. And I wouldn't say it was bad. I think it showed some improvement, at least to me, that Kay can do other things, like her range, right? I still felt like the performance itself was a little underwhelming, maybe. I don't know what the word would be, but I thought it was going to be a little bit more. And it kind of wasn't. I don't know if it was because of the song choice. Maybe like it's more mellow. It's not really, I don't know. It's not something that's going to grab anyone that much, but I thought they did well. I kind of felt like Hwasa kind of was more comfortable with it, and it felt like it showed a little too much.
Just her like mannerisms were on point.
Yeah, I would say so. So I guess it kind of created this balance for me, but I think overall they still did really well. I think Kay pulled it off, so I think that's a good thing for her.
Earlier in the video, when Doug started talking about Hwasa, I got so excited because I was so excited about her. Great. And then Kay was a pleasant surprise, but Hwasa, I came in with like a high expectation, and then she topped, and I was like, oh man, kill me. I was playing around with the flash drive in my hands, and I threw it, and it hit my iPad.
Oh my god!
And I thought it made a scratch earlier.
You're good?
So scared. No, there's no scratch. Thank God. Jesus. I almost put a dent on my $1,000 iPad. Oh, Jesus Christ. That being said, love Hwasa, man. Oh.
What was this aside? Okay. How do you guys rank these real quick? For me, I thought Instagram's clearly number one.
Clearly
See,
number one?
I don't know. I don't think I can tell.
I mean, you're gonna have to because that's what they're doing in the show. So we might.
Oh, I mean, personal choice then. Is this
personal choice.
Okay.
My personal preference.
I'm a little biased.
Instagram, Scarecrow, Wish You Were Gay. That's for me.
Okay, I'm a little biased because I feel like the performance was really emotional and I liked the song a little bit more. I don't know. I think Scarecrow would be number one for me, and then Instagram, and then I Wish You Were Gay, I think.
And Warren, you agree with my ranking?
Actually, I disagree now. I'm gonna say Instagram first, and then Hwasa K with I Was Sure Gay by Billie Eilish, and then Scarecrow by Park Bom and Haejung. No, not Haejung. Jung. What's Jung's name? Hyojung. I'm sorry.
You keep apologizing for things. Well, let's move on to the performance unit 6 puzzle. Okay.
6 puzzle.
It's 6 puzzle, right? Not puzzle 6. 6 puzzle. 6 puzzle, right?
I think.
Something like that.
Okay.
Oh man.
Of course, last week they said it was going to be hard to pick a song for everyone, so they decided to go with individual performances and come together. And the final song was Little Mix's Power. First note I have, Leah Kim is the GOAT, right? Like, by and far the most impactful K-pop choreographer right now. She seems her teaching style. So I did dance for 15 years. She's nicer than a lot of my teachers. Maybe because she's on TV.
She's on TV.
She seemed much nicer than a lot of my teachers. Let's go over each of them. Yeon from Lovelyz was first off. She did a Lady Vengeance OST with a contemporary style. For me, great music style choice, modern. Her lines were beautiful in terms of her dancing. Visuals were on point. I don't know if she's classically trained in dance, but she did an impressive job. Overall, for me, top 2 out of the 6.
Oh, okay.
Wow. She did mention that she did contemporary dance.
Yeah.
In middle school, something like that. I don't remember quite exactly. This piece is Vivaldi, by the way. It's one of my most favorite movie OSTs of all time. It's one of the better movie OST selections in terms of classical music being incorporated into K-pop. I've also performed it a couple times, as you two are probably aware.
Yes, we are.
That being said, I came in with very high expectations because I am naturally very biased towards the song. I was pleasantly surprised. I liked it. I would also put it at my second. So, what's it?
Good.
What's good?
Anita? This is your time.
I really liked it. I think I was a little concerned how she was gonna make it, I guess, exciting for the performance, you know. But I think she did a really good job of incorporating like a feel, like a storyline kind of to the performance and with the soundtrack, and it fit with the colors and the theme of the group performance as a whole, like the red and everything. And like you said, like her lines were amazing. Like she's really good. And if she's only had like very little experience, I think she's really, really, really talented. So yeah, I would say this was one of my top ones as well.
Okay, next we had Sujin from G-Idol. She did Senorita and a tango theme. For me, the main word is duality. Shy off the stage, monster on it. I wrote, what a sexy stage. Hyuna 2.0 with a bunch of question marks, and she went off.
It was interesting. I feel like I was a little taken aback when the partner dance started, if you guys remember. Because I feel like it was another girl, so it was unconventional, I would say, but she pulled it off really well. I thought it was really interesting, and I think it was more than just a sexy concept. I would say, like, it felt still very artistic to me. How about you guys?
This is my favorite performance for today.
Really?
Oh, okay.
It's a good mix of cool. It's a good mix of swag, and it's another good mix of sexy. It's all come together.
This was number 3. This was number 3 for me, I think.
Oh, okay.
Strong 3. Let's move on to Yua from Oh My Girl. She did Smooth Criminal with a... Oh, no. Third was...
No.
I scrolled down a little too much. Third was Chanmi from AOA. She did the song Strip in an interrogation theme. That's what she said. That table, though. For me, I thought the first, like, 60% of her performance was a little too much tricks, not enough dancing.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I think that even when she did dance, she did well, but it wasn't anything that blew my mind.
I would agree. I felt like there was a lack of
Oomph, right? Oomph or something, right?
like more choreo. I don't know what it was. It just felt like a lot of transitions to things, or like placement and stuff.
It was a lot of movement and not a lot of dancing.
Right. So, I mean, I liked the attitude. I thought she sold it. I just don't know if it was it exposed like it. I don't know. I don't think it was up to par with the others as far as like dancing itself. I don't know.
That's the vibe I kind of got. Not that I'm a super big professional, able to understand dance kind of guy or choreo, but compared to other people, I felt like there was kind of less going on, for the lack of a better term.
I mean,
that being said, her attitude was...
No, like okay, so if we think about the performance, the first bit was her mouthing the words. I thought that was great. And then she did the jump. So the first trick, she jumped off the table.
Right, yeah.
That's a trick. And then she moved over and the guys lifted her up a little. That's another trick, right? Then she came over and got on the table again. That's a third piece. And then she finally got off the table and danced a little. That was like the ordering of the stage, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of movement to get to those
Yeah.
pieces, at least in my
I
head.
wish there was more.
Next we had Yua from Oh My Girl. She did Smooth Criminal with a mafia boss theme. For me, this was my favorite.
Same.
I thought this was iconic. I want to see a full performance of this. The stage presence is ridiculous. The foot movement was on point. I think she's the best pure dancer out of the group of them. Yep. That was it for me.
I also really like this. Like, I think same with the first performance. I was a little concerned with how they were going to interpret the song, just because I haven't seen much of Yua dance other than with Oh My Girl. So
I've seen a lot of her
really
dancing.
Pleasantly surprised.
Because her brother's one of her brothers one of the choreographers at 1 Million Dance Academy. So I've watched a lot of their collab things that they've done.
Okay, I haven't seen a ton of stuff in this genre, so I wasn't sure how it was gonna work out with her, but it was really, really good. And like you said, like her footwork was really good.
Yes.
Like super fast. I was really surprised. It was my favorite performance as well.
And this is my third favorite.
Okay.
It's not my favorite, but it's up there. It's still up there.
Next we had Moonbyul from Mamamoo doing 2 Moons was the song. With a sword dance theme. I just thought Moonbyul did a great job considering I think she would admittedly say she's not like the best pure dancer in K-pop, right? She did better than I expected. I love the second half. First half for me was a little alright. I thought the second half was really cool. I like the sword sound effects, and I was like, can we get some Moonbyul doing some guy choreo at some point? Just saying.
Oh, I think this is an interesting comment because to me, I've always felt like Moonbyul has had that kind of like tomboyish image, and her dancing kind of reflected that to me.
Yeah.
Like I expected this, and I don't know, I liked it because I feel like it fits her, and that's what she's comfortable with. And that was the opposite. I liked the first part more than the second part.
Yeah, the second part was a little showy. You got that.
To me, I didn't really want to say this, but this was. I don't quite remember this one, to be honest, even though I reviewed all the performances again right before we recorded this. Partially because I feel like the other performances had more of like had more oomph to it, you know, like. And then the genre she's doing is not particularly my favorite to begin with either. So I think that's what has to do with it. But
genre, this didn't have much genre going on. I thought.
I was trying to make it sound nice.
You know what I mean, right, Anita? I don't think there was like a dance genre going on.
Yeah, Moonbyul was cool.
Okay, that's honestly one of my notes.
She's cool, yeah.
Moonbyul was cool.
Lastly,
cool.
Bohm's stand-in was Eunji from Brave Girls.
Right.
They did not give her a solo stage, which I thought was like, come on. Like, additionally, Bohm was on the stage and they did this like high five handshake thing. I was like, all right, you know what I mean? That's what I thought. I was expecting them to do it and then she danced or something, right? But
yeah, I'm still really surprised they didn't.
It's unfair based on the voting
time,
right?
Yeah,
I'm sure Mnet will figure something out.
But they finally did. After that, they did the group. So some notes. I wrote Stan 6 puzzle. I wrote this was great. I always like when they can do collaboration stage between artists of different groups. That all the close-ups of Moonbyul smirking, it was like the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't in the
That's
choreography. She came in a little bit later because I don't think she wanted to do some of the choreo or she didn't have the time or what. I don't know the circumstances, but she just comes out and smirks. I'm like, that's you. You know what I mean? I wrote girl power. I felt it. I thought Yua and Sujin have tons of stage presence. Like, they eat the screen. The camera, like, it's on them. Again, I wrote Leah Kim. And then my favorite out of everyone, oh no, that has, I already said all that stuff, but I really liked this though. I thought it was great.
I liked it as well. I was really pleasantly surprised overall, just with the vocal performances, because I was really worried, like teamwork wise, and just being able to like cooperate and work well together. But I think it turned out really well for everyone.
I kind of agree because like coming into the dance performance, I saw the members now. They're not gonna have any trouble doing this. I mean,
They're pros.
They're pros. They're gonna have to work hard. The choreo's hard. Leah Kim, but at the same time, I was like, they're pros. I'm not too worried. The vocal team, where they were given a lot of freedom in terms of what songs they're gonna work with and that kind of stuff. I was kind of concerned. But you know, I think it came well together at the end of the day. So I was pleasantly surprised. I liked it. I'm not gonna make any foul comments here in terms of my spice level.
I don't think anyone is stocked down from any of this. I think next week will be the more interesting with the Fandora's box because we saw the previews. The costumes were kind of crazy too, like a lot of stuff. They had the Sujin scene in the preview where she's almost crying. That was cool. And during the performance, I don't know what's gonna happen. But final thoughts. There was an article. Queendom PD reveals Kingdom might also be happening, and then the netizens talk about what groups they want to see. So the PD of the show basically said that because Queendom's doing well, there's a chance we might see Kingdom, which will be what guy groups, of course. Netizens have been discussing potential groups. These are the ones I saw in the comments. So newest Monster X17, I think they're too big for the show. even though they've been mentioned.
I agree.
Other groups that might be Mamamoo's huge too, so we can't really make a judgment on that. Other groups they were suggesting were Astro, Pentagon, Victon, Uptension, On and Off, One Us, SF9, Golden Child, ATEEZ. Who knows what's gonna happen?
I like that bottom mix.
I like that
would be
bottom mix too, but Mnet didn't pick the most ideal mix for this Queendom. So
Who knows? We might get a solo
That's
artist like
true.
Pakbom too.
Who could it be?
동방신기.
No, what's his name? Who
Sunjin.
is Hyuna's boyfriend?
이던.
Idon.
Done?
Oh my god.
It could happen. Just throwing that out there, right? There's a chance.
Oh my god. Ii and Hyuna collab stage, please make it happen.
Oh
Mnet.
dear.
But
Make it happen, Mnet. Make it happen.
this has been our coverage of Queendom. I believe this is episode 7. Yes, it is. We
Yes,
will
it
see
is.
you all next week when we cover episode 8. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me. Please check out our regular content, which is SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, dropping every Wednesday, where we cover everything that's going on in the world of K-pop. Should be dropping on, well, of course, I just said Wednesday, but we will see you all then, and we will see you next week when we cover episode 8 and Fandora's Box. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.